Good morning. For our Wednesday morning devotions for the next few weeks, we are going to be taking a look at different Psalms. One I find interesting, or that I think has a really good message that can apply to sort of what we're going through today, or maybe what we're talking about in our sermon series is Psalms are interesting. They are a mix of songs and poems and prayers, and some of them are even just philosophical writings about who God is and how God relates to you and me in different varying circumstances that we might find ourselves in our daily lives. And they're written by a wide variety of authors, Israel's historian throughout Israel's history. It's not just all written at one time like some of the other books of the Bible, but it was written over the course of the whole of Israel's history. It's very similar to our hymnals that we have in our church pews. There's songs in there that are from the 1990s, and there's songs in there from the 1880s, and then everywhere in between. And Psalms is very similar to that. It's a book of compiled hymns or poems, or like I said, prayers and philosophical writings from all throughout the history of the Jewish people. Jewish scholars identify 11 separate authors of Psalms. Adam is one of them. Adam, as in the first man. Some of the Psalms are related, or not related, are given to say that those are his, that he wrote those. People like Melchizedek and Abraham, Moses, Heman, Jeduthun, Asaph, and the three sons of Korah, and of course, the most prolific writer of the Psalms, a man named King David. All these people wrote these different Psalms to show their viewpoints of how God is, of who God is, and how he should be worshipped, and how he interacts in our daily lives. And today we're going to take a look at what is possibly my favorite Psalm, Psalm 136. We're going to go ahead and read it, and then we're going to talk about it for a little while. Psalm 136. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Give thanks to the God of gods. His love endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord of lords. His love endures forever. To him who alone does great wonders. His love endures forever. Who by his understanding made the heavens. His love endures forever. Who spread out the earth upon the waters. His love endures forever. Who made the great lights. His love endures forever. The sun to govern the day. His love endures forever. The moon and stars to govern the night. His love endures forever. To him who struck down the firstborn of Egypt, his love endures forever. And brought Israel out from among them. His love endures forever. To him who divided the Red Sea asunder, his love endures forever. And brought Israel through the midst of it. His love endures forever. But swept Pharaoh and his armies into the sea. His love endures forever. To him who led his people through the wilderness, his love endures forever. To him who struck down great kings, his love endures forever. And killed mighty kings, his love endures forever. Sihon, king of the Amorites, his love endures forever. And Og, king of Bashan, his love endures forever. And gave their land as an inheritance, his love endures forever. An inheritance to his servant Israel. His love endures forever. He remembered us in our low estate. His love endures forever. And freed us from our enemies. His love endures forever. He gives food to every creature. His love endures forever. Give thanks to the God in heaven. His love endures forever. Psalm 136 was written by David. It was written with a very specific purpose, and that purpose was to be sung in the temples every morning by the Levites. And you might notice it has sort of a weird flow to it. This is sort of, some churches do what you call a call and a response, where one person says one thing and then the rest of everybody else says another. That's how this was designed to be read. So you would have one person who would get up in front of the Levites in the temple in the morning, and they would look out at the people and they would say, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good." And the response you would hear, "His love endures forever." And so that's kind of how this is supposed to be read through. And there's a reason for this. There's a reason that David wrote it this way. It is written and designed to remind the people every morning in the temple of everything God has done for them. And that he deserves our thanks and our praise, because no matter what situation they, as the Jews, find themselves in, God's love endures forever. I love this passage, especially for a midweek devotion like this, because sometimes in between the Sundays, life gets crazy. Between those moments of fellowship and study we all have together on Sunday mornings, life gets crazy sometimes. Sometimes we forget about all of the good things that God has done for us in the middle of the stress, in the middle of the worry that our Monday to Saturday can bring into our lives. And it's a good reminder on a Wednesday to look at this passage and remind us that God's love endures forever. And just like he was with the Israelites through all of those events, just like the God who created the heaven was with them and brought them out of Egypt and conquered these kings and gave them this land, his love for them endures forever. His love for me endures forever. In the middle of my stress, in the middle of the difficulty that can sometimes be our lives, God's love endures forever. His forgiveness and his love for you and for me is always with us, and it will forever be with us. So I have some homework for you today. Take a few minutes after you finish this video. Get a piece of paper and a pen and write out your own version of Psalm 136. I do this every once in a while on my own. I write a list of things, and I want you to write a list of things that God has been with you through. The situations in your life that have been tough or hard, where you felt the hand of God, or situations and things that you're dealing with and God is carrying you through those things, or things and situations where maybe you didn't feel God, but you knew he was with you. And write it out just like Psalm 136. Write the event, write what happened, and then write, his love endures forever. And read through that. Make that a daily reminder in your life, especially during hard seasons, that no matter what comes, God is going to walk with you through it. And no matter what happens in our life, God is always with us. And his love endures forever. Have a great rest of the week.